You are living in a place called Hong Kong and you recently got yourself a driving license. So you're wondering what car you should get as your first car. You go to the internet forum and ask someone else, and these are what people comment.
So this is the car that many people talk about. This is the 1998 Toyota Corolla, aka the AE110. So in these 2 days, I'll be driving this car and see if it is a good car for you to buy as your first car. So without further ado, let's drive the shit out of it.
You think I'll floor it? Of course not. I'll talk about the spec of this car first and then I'll go for a test drive. This AE110 that I'm driving today has a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, making 98 horsepower with a 4-speed automatic transmission. I think this might be the best first car for new driver. This brand is famous for their reliability, so I don't think you have any problem of maintaining this car because this car doesn't break. If you care about the size of this car is only 4.3 meters long and 1.7 meters wide, so it's pretty small compared to cars nowadays. But of course it's not as small as the car in front of me, which is this K car. So these are the basic facts of the AE110. So without further ado, let's hop in and go for a test drive.
Driving the AE110. So let's do acceleration tests with the AE110. Holy shit! Whoa! Okay, that's 70. Cars from the late 90s are generally pretty simple. This is one of them. The exterior of this car is kind of like a box with 4 wheels, especially like the wheels on this car. So it has a pretty simple, like kind of like a dish design, which is pretty cool, I would say. I think the 180SX has a pretty similar design. Yeah, I really like this, and it's pretty rare to find this kind of design on cars nowadays. This car is really low to the floor. When you're driving it compared to other cars on the road, you can definitely see your car is much lower compared to other cars. So I think it is a good thing because the car is so low, you got a very low center of gravity, which help you into corners. You don't really have much body rolls and you feel more confident when turning into tight corners. But the steering wheel, I think it's kind of big for this kind of size of car. It's even bigger than the one on the Prius. I would want to have a much smaller steering wheel because I kind of like driving a truck instead of driving a car. So we're now in a traffic jam, so let's talk about the interior of this car. It is a pretty simple 90s design. You don't have many buttons on the center console. All you got is the AC controller and that's it. You don't even have one single button on the steering wheel except the horn, right? So this car surprisingly has soft touch material on the dashboard. Not even the 2nd gen or the 3rd gen Prius has soft touch material on the dashboard. And then it has leather interior, leather seat, and sunroof. I don't think you could get a better car than this because you have the basic comfort or the basic luxury stuff, which is this too, and this car has it, so it's pretty good. So my thoughts on this car is that I really like this car. For a first car, I don't think you have any problems on driving this. All you need to know is how to turn on the AC, how to shift to D, and how to release the handbrake, and that's it. You don't have to care about anything else. Other than that, you got leather interior, you got sunroof. What do you want more? But I would say if you're going to buy this car, you won't be able to carry more than 2 people. This is my seating position. I'm 174 centimeters and I basically don't have any backseat leg room on this car, so I won't recommend people to carry more than one, actually not two, not more than 1 people on this car.
So today is day 2. The first task we are going to do is to go to morning drive. So without further ado, let's hop in and go to morning drive. We've now come to this place called the Big Wave Bay, where people will come here on Sunday morning to do morning drive. There's many cars here. Let's see if I can meet any new people. Hey, hi. I guess I have no friends. I think we should go to the second task, right? So the second task here is to drive on the roads uphill. So here at the Steps roads here are pretty tight and so many corners. This car, because the size of this is pretty small, it is very good for them to drive in this kind of roads. I don't think you have any problem driving this car because the size of it is pretty small and you can maneuver in this kind of roads pretty easily and you don't have to scare about cars coming from the other side. But one downside is that this car, because it only has a 1.5 liter engine, going uphill is a bit hard for it, so you have to floor the throttle pretty much halfway or more than half. Driving in this kind of road, you can definitely get much more experience than driving in a city because there aren't many traffic, but the roads are pretty tight and small and there are so many corners. For those of you who really want to try it out to test your limit, here is a very good place for you to drive and to become a better driver.
After going through this twisty steps road, we come to a place called the Parker Road where you can get off and look at this amazing view of the Victoria Harbour and the Kowloon side. Just look at the building, especially the International Commerce Centre, and you'll be impressed by the view. And perhaps this is the best location for you to take pictures of your car with this amazing view of Hong Kong.
So the final task is to see if it is really good to park in very tight spaces of Hong Kong car park. We've now come to a really old car park in Yau Ma Tei, which is going to be demolished pretty soon. So let's go and see if this car can fit all those parking spaces. Spot here. Let's see if we can park right here. Okay, let's see if we can park inside that spot. It's really tight here. Oh, this car has no parking sensor or camera whatsoever, so we gotta be really careful on parking here. Okay. Should be fit. Alright.
So, as you can see, this car parks here perfectly. I got so many space left on this side and that side, so I don't think there's any problem to park this car in any tight spaces of Hong Kong car park. So, let's go upstairs to find more space and see if this car can park.
We're still going upstairs, and you can find so many people who are taking photos here because this, as I said, this car park is going to be demolished really soon because of the new rules, policy, or stuff like that. So people now are coming here to take photos of sunset and take photos of, many hipsters are coming here to take photos. Yeah, okay, we're almost at the top of the car park. I'm gonna come here to take some pictures with this car because this is the last day that I'm going to drive this AE110.
Actually, the reasons why I come here is because I want to take photos of this 22-year-old car and this half-a-century-old building. Perhaps this is the last time that I can take pictures of both together. For those of you who are really interested, you can go to my Instagram page to check it out. Anyway, driving this car for 2 days reminds me of how simple driving back in the day, where you don't really have much fancy stuff to play with. All you need to know is to focus on driving, and that's it. For those of you who just got your driving license, it is a really good car for you to learn how to drive and be a better driver. But as the sun goes down, I just want to go to the seaside and have a good break and remember these 2 days living with this car.